when the pronouncement was made in Parliament by a president that he was going to set up a committee to look into the electoral system, as a commission, when we came back, we were a little bit concerned. But when we analyze the situation, when we look back and reflect on what has been happening over the past 6 elections, the president was right to set up a committee to look into the electoral system, because as he mentioned when we submitted our reports, he has been victim and he has been beneficiaries of the system. In other words, he took the Electoral Commission to court in 2012. Yeah, when we conducted the election 2023, APC had questions about the system. So it was good that he set up this committee. And therefore, as a commission, we decided that we have to fully cooperate with the tripartite or the committee set up, the tripartite committee. The launch of the tripartite interparty dialogue meeting, we were invited, we went there, we represented the commission, from one of the commissioners away. As their work progressed, they sent us requests for certain information. Out of the information they requested, we provided about 70%. There are certain information we did not provide because we classified this information, and it has nothing to do with the relevance or the TOR of the committee. I will clearly justify why. Subsequent to the provision of the information, we are also invited. Remember, the committee is not only looking at the 2023 election, but rather all elections conducted from 2007. I was invited, and I'm aware other commissioners were invited, but only the chair of Umfa Kamara, who conducted Umfa Konneh, who conducted the 2018 election, went. Madam Top did not attend the meeting, but we went because we were confident in what we did. And they had questions, over 50 questions, which they had prepared without our knowledge. We went there for easier of the administration of these questions. They share the questions with us as they ask the questions. So we were there, answer to all of these questions, and the questions were not asked by individual, by a single person, but rather all the representatives, both SLPP and APC representatives on the panel. They all asked questions, a pre-prepared questions, and we answer all the questions. At the end of the day, I think you saw the photographs after the interview. It was very friendly, and some of them even to a point asked my staff, "Hey guys, una clap for una chair." Then we came back. After a few days or about a week, that was when we received another letter. Let me clarify this. Before we went for the interview, when we received the first correspondence from the tripartite committee, it was signed by all the committee co-chairs. But subsequently, when we were invited, the letter was signed by the expatriate secretary. So as a commission, we said, no, we have set the standard. If any correspondence is coming from the tripartite committee, it has to be signed by the co-chair. So the letter went back, we responded in writing, and then the letter was subsequently, the invitation letter was subsequently signed by the co-chairs. So on that basis, we went. So when we came back, we received a letter only signed by representatives of the APC in the committee. requesting us to provide clarification on several issues we have addressed, either in the document we provided or when we appear in person. So our response was just two paragraphs. A, that the letter was not properly signed by the co-chairs, and B, we have provided the clarifications they were seeking from us, either in the document we submitted or when we appear doing the interview for 5 hours we were there. So that was the letter. If you have seen people referring to us of that we are bluffing, we cannot escape justice, we cannot escape. We just wanted people to understand that we have always expressed our commitment to ensure that we support whatever genuine intention we have to improve on the electoral system in Sierra Leone. That's why, even in my statement to President, I stated clearly that as a commission, this is not the first time we are reviewing the system. Every elections, we review electoral system and then bring on board issues that were concerned for the outcome of that election. So we are not against any review. So we welcome whatever recommendations that will come out of the tripartite committee. In fact, I was saying this morning, maybe we have to borrow from the English League or the FIFA to introduce VAR electoral system. We all remember, before 2-3 years ago, or when Ferguson was the chair of ahead of Manchester. That's not there. Liverpool there, and Liverpool man they talk. We easiest target is always that. So they have introduced system that will assist referees. So if at the end of the day the electoral recommendation is for this commission, when they are doing elections, to transmit the result from the field to the center, to project, to publish disaggregated data, let's have the law. We don't have the law. In fact, when we attempted, before the elections, when we attempted to introduce transmission of results from polling center to our centralized system, so that it will be easier and faster to process and know the result, that was kicked against by the APC. The Peace Commission called a meeting at Bitumani Conference where we had international partners, even ECOWAS was there, and discussed this issue. And one question they asked, I remember even the ECOWAS, one question they asked, Mr. Chair, if you do not introduce this new technology system, will it affect the election? We say no. Say, okay, for the sake of peace, abandon that. That was, we had prepared, we have bought, we have developed a system that we automatically, once the results are counted at the center, it is photoshopped and transmitted directly in the presence of political parties. But they say, no, no wonder one day. They say if we send out now, they will send the result on the cloud, and then from the cloud, somebody deal with the manipulator before the result comes up. So they say, no, no one time. We say, okay, fine, let's go by the manual way of doing things. So during the period of the election, we all look at we know what are the provisions for the result management. The other issues which has been propagated against the Commission is that we did not follow the procedure for result management. The ECS would like to inform the public that the 2023 results announced conforms with the standard of announcement of election results over the past electoral cycle, 2007, 2012, 2018, as directed under Section 92 of the Commission, of the PEA. In other words, from 2007 to 2018, results are counted at the stations, at station level. Party agents, observers present. Results are entered into the result reconciliation form, and copy of the result reconciliation form issued to political parties and then posted on the wall of the centers or the stations. These results are placed in the tampered evidence envelope, sealed in the presence of the political parties, and put there in the box, the empty boxes, or the ballot boxes, sealed in their presence, and then the coordinators of those reward areas will collect these results, take the results to the district offices, to the district election managers or district election officers. The district election officer will collect all these results, take them to the regional tally centers. I think in 2007, there was only one center, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
National Tally Center. The subsequent election, the commission introduced regional centers, where the results are taken to the centers, are tallied in the presence of political parties, observers. We have photos for 2023 tally venues of observers sitting and watching the process. Some of the claims they have made, they had no access to where these data, the results were entered. We recall constituency 110. We recall what happened in Kabbalah in the by-elections, where ballot boxes were taken. So therefore, the only way we tried it in 2018 at the National Tally Center, where we created transparent glass barrier where people will sit and see what is happening. It's not opaque. It's not opaque at all. It's transparent. So what introduction again, a new addition we made. 2018 election, we all saw the frustration of the time it took to announce the result. So as a commission, we decided to increase on the number of manpower that we do the intake of the results and then process. But it's like you are sitting there, then I'm walking from here. The results reconciliation envelopes were taken from where the observers are, registered and taken to, in the presence of this observer, open and given out to all the entry class. And we have double entry situation. If I enter the figures here and I giving it to you, the figure I enter should correspond to what he is going to enter. If there are any changes, it will not accept for it to go through. So these processes were explained before the election to political parties. We demonstrated at the warehouse how we are going to do the election. Nobody objected. We never said we are going to project results. We never said that we are going to project results. Until the day for the election, when they were tallying, that's why when the opposition, especially in the north, they started demanding that we have to project the results for them to see. So that has never been part of our policy or regulations we developed for this election. So when we went ahead to do the tally, and they were there. Throughout the process, they were there. We have the register where they signed. They were present throughout at all the centers that were created for the tallying of the results. So in other words, what we are saying, we follow the standard that as an organization, as a country, we had established from 2007, 2012, 2018, and 2023. The procedure of tallying did not change. The introduction of new system we wanted, they kicked against it. So we had no options but to go revert to the procedure, the standard we had established. also want to talk about this new cliche about disaggregated data. It started from the registration. You see, it is always good for people to be honest. And honesty is guided by the facts and your knowledge about the circumstances. These two political parties have existed before many of us were born. They are in politics and they do anything to win. But what is unfair is when you use the institution to appease your supporters. It's like after every football match, the supporters are angry with the coach or the team manager. And then the team manager will come and say, no, not the referee. So that's what the political parties are doing to ECSL. The only way they can get your supporters to believe that they won the election, but somebody took it away from them, is to look at the referee, misinform, and turn the fact, what America they call alternative facts. When we were doing the voter registration, there has never been a situation where voter register, disaggregated voter register, issued to political parties 2 months or immediately after the field capture of data of voter register. It has never. But the moment we concluded the field capture, when we were even developing the provisional list, we had the request coming from the opposition, and then subsequently NEW also came asking us they want to audit the process. So we asked, what do you want to audit? And why do you want to audit? To give credibility to the process. What credibility is lacking in the process? So we deny outrightly, on the basis that it has never happened. And secondly, these are provisional data which need to be processed to ensure that we correct whatever mistakes, to ensure that we include whoever want to change the allocations. So we said we are not going to give any disaggregated voter register, but we'll give you the voter register once we conclude all the activities necessary to have a credible voter register. So that's where the problem started between us and our friends. So when we concluded, about 3 or so weeks to the election, we finally gave out in hard copy, in soft copy, to all political parties. But there comes again the honesty of politicians. Before we went to the Bitumani peace discussion, APC was saying we have not given them this data and they are going to pull out of the election. But when we came, we had given them before the conference, but when the conference, we had the discussion, they came back and said, oh yes, actually now ECSL give all the data we will be asked for, so they go participate from the pool. Is that honesty? We have given you this document a week or so before this meeting, and then for you suddenly to come and say, no, not then give it. So the intention about all of these issues which we are dealing with post-2023 election, the foundations were laid before even we get to the pool. Before even we got to the pool, we have already been blacklisted because people at the end of the day, we have a reason to say we won this election, but because of credibility, lack of integrity of the Electoral Commission, they denied us our victory. So that's why I'm saying political parties should completely forget about blackmailing the electoral management body. They should take the responsibility of politics as their profession or as their business with genuine intention. Get the resources. Don't go and raise fund for international observers to come and observe and give you credence. Raise fund for your party to have observers at the police station level, at the talent center, so that they will monitor and account to you. If you say the ECSL result we declare is not in line with what you have, but you've never provided what you have. Yeah. It's like the Quran. When people say the Quran, Quran is not correct, God asks them, just provide one sentence. One sentence of the Quran and tell me whether the Quran is something that was created by man. We have provided results, summary, district aggregated data. If you think that is not in line with what you have not even produced even the fallible results to show that your result is against what we have published. And the issue of disaggregated data, it is not something that you can just pressure, you can just say, Mohamed Konneh producer. No. It's not part of our law. It's not a precedent. So therefore, it is not something you just say, produce this, then all case done. No, we know it by anybody. You have your
around. Let me tell you a tale about the news that will never fail. SL News Blog, the place to be. Get the latest scoop, come and see. Always updated, always in the know. Breaking stories on the go. From politics to celeb gossip too. SL News Blog brings it all to you. Scrolling through your feed, what do you see? SL News Blog, that's where you'll be. Headlines catchy, stories so grand, you'll be addicted to this news brand.